We up and running?
Yes, we are. We are live. Good morning, Nick and Mike Christensen from Traders Post.
That's
Welcome,
right.
guys.
Appreciate you.
Good. Today we get to watch Mike teach us how to trade NQ. You get to see my illegitimate son take legitimate trades on NQ.
It's still been one of my favorite comments ever. I've had like people compare me to other guests that I've had on the show at Traders Post, but that one was the funniest. This guy looks like he could be Mike's dad. And then forever it's just been Nick is my dad now.
Yeah, it's funny. They're saying something. We had a person comment in our channel saying, "Oh, what about the old guy over there?" And I'm like, "Hey, he's only like 4 or 5 years older than me."
Yeah, on Friday. I have a question for the older gentleman. It's like, older gentleman? He was 4 years younger than me. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah, I feel like, Nick, you're an older brother more than a dad, but hey, whatever the commenters want to say, we got to go with it, right?
No, it's all the gray hair. I've had it since I was like 8 years old, so.
There you go.
You're laughing, but I'm not joking.
I have a hard time believing that. I think you've confused blonde for gray, but that's okay.
Blonde? Shit, I wish. Long, flowing blonde locks. All right, so pre-market, nothing's happening.
Nothing's happening yet, yeah.
Screen up so everybody can see the command pad and how Mike trades.
Yeah, you bet. Well, I'm going to stick with micros today. What I've been doing lately is watching the first few minutes of the open and deciding overall direction and just throwing on one MES contract, because most of the prop firms will allow you to be bi-directional with two different instruments. So I can be long MES and short MNQ at the same time. So that allows me to, sort of take the longer view of the day, especially if I think there's a swing trade here, in which case I really don't. If I'm looking at the 2-hour chart for MES right now, it looks bullish. We have a pretty decent move here from support at 6,800, and it looks like there could be a continuation here, but I'm not entirely sure. The uncertainty around tariffs is shaking markets in a way that makes me uncertain as well. So I could put an MES on and then switch over to MNQ and start scalping around with several more MNQ. And then just close out the MES trade at the end of the day, depending on where things go.
Yeah, I'm looking at NQ. Honestly, everything pre-market has been lined up. MNQ, ES, and YM are all following each other exactly. So if it continues doing that way, we may get a bias. Maybe.
The one thing I can say is I want to see a bounce here. Looking at the daily chart for both MNQ and MES, we've seen a bit of a pullback here. The drawdown for MNQ is about 7% from peak, and we're at the tail end, almost the tail end of this regression trend. Support being found somewhere between 24,200 and 24,500. If that's the bounce, then we could see a nice rush this week. But there may be one more pullback before we finally get there.
Are you looking at pullbacks to VWAP?
It'd be pullbacks back to the 200-day moving average, so probably right back to 24,500 or so, maybe a little bit farther before it closes for the session. So we could wick past the 200-day moving average.
So you're looking at the second, the third deviation band on VWAP if you're looking at the 500 level.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, that would be the third deviation band on VWAP is almost at the 500 level.
So which prop firms are you using, Mike?
Personally, I'm with Blue Sky. I do like their process and their daily payouts as well as no maximums. It's one of the firms that I found so far that only puts, I think once you get to a live account, there's a maximum profit of $5,000 for the day. And then you can just keep taking daily profits on a 50K account up to 2,500 a week. So that actually is pretty nice. And that's one of my favorite firms at the moment. Tradeify is another, and Lucid is the third. And those are the three that I've been working with.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not working with any of the instant funded through like Top One or what's the other one? Lucid? No, wait, you are trading Lucid.
Yeah, I am trading Lucid, but I don't do any of the instant funded or direct to funded accounts anymore. I was trying that a long time ago, but you blow one of those and it's just too costly. And so I found myself trying to spend as little as possible for an account and then getting to the finish line faster. And that seems to have worked out pretty well. I think the strategy around my approach is to take one good trade and I'll size up as necessary, just trying to take a look at where volatility is. And I'm just putting the numbers in each day,
So are you, it sounds like you're kind of trading in a similar manner to me when it comes to your position and your size. You're adding to your winners and cutting your losers pretty quickly.
That's right. Yeah. Usually it'll be, if it's a scalpy day, it'll be one position and I'll trade anywhere between 5 and 10 micros and I'm just going for 20 or 30 points.
All right.
Nice.
See, I'll go in initially with 3 micros, and if it's going in my favor, I'll add one at a time.
Yep. Stack up.
Depending on what the bars are doing. If it's a trending day, I'll go in sometimes with a bit more than that. But on prop firm accounts, I like to keep it a little bit smaller. Getting a little bit of a bounce on NQ with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, just noticed that.
Yeah.
I'm seeing
Got a
some
couple
lift
viewers
on.
that popped in also here. So good morning, everybody. Thanks for showing up. We got Mike Christensen on the stream today, giving us a rundown on how to run Traders Post system here. So
Yep.
Stay tuned.
Appreciate that. Yeah, the nice thing about Traders Post is we started as an automated platform that allowed you to automate indicators and strategies from TradingView and as well as other platforms. But we also double as a very robust trade copier because of the nature of how our system works. We allow you to create a strategy and then connect that strategy to multiple accounts. And then you send a signal to the platform and we execute that signal across those accounts concurrently. You can see here, this is an example of an incoming trade that I sent from Command Pad that was an entry to buy M&Q. It sent over the signal price. I had a quantity of 5 here, take profit of 15 points and a stop loss of 30, sort of a negative RR approach there. And you can see here that this hit my live account as well as my 2 other Trade Evade accounts, Blue Sky account here as well. And it just trades them all at the same time. So they're, one account doesn't block the other. If one fails, it doesn't affect the others. It's all of a, every trade or every signal is traded across the accounts independently, so they don't affect each other.
The good thing about that too is because I'm trading live accounts as well as prop accounts. I'm sorry, cash, like personal cash accounts, and you can set up in your Traders Post specific parameters for each account.
That's right.
So if I go in with no stop loss on the Command Pad, if there's a stop loss and a take profit set up previously, it's going to execute those trades for me.
Exactly. I know for me, I like to set it up to where each subscription to the strategy has different sizes associated with it. In other words, I might have for one account, it's set up to where it trades 2 contracts. One account might trade 3 contracts, and it's really kind of dependent on my max drawdown for each account. I make the sizing relative to the distance to drawdown. Well, that's a max. That's a rush right at the open here to close that gap up. It was a small gap from the open.
So quick little scalp here.
All right.
Nice.
Locked in 55 there on 2 accounts.
Bookmap is showing NQ orders up at 25,050 at 232.
Yeah, I see 406 contracts there at 50.
406. Are you looking at NQ or MNQ?
NQ.
I've got it on MNQ right now.
Got it. Same resistance in there though.
A little more than half of those are algo, so
that's usually the case.
And that bounce just disappeared. Lovely.
Everyone was in a rush to buy and sell.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how we lose money.
And that YM just kept going up. It's already a previous day high. So
YM's an interesting one. I like how much it deviates from time to time.
Yeah. It's the one contract that me and Nick often trade before our typical don't trade for the first 15 minutes rule.
Got it. That makes sense.
It does that, you know, in the morning it'll pick a direction and it'll just rip. So
that is the one that I will break my rules on. NQ, if I trade before the opening range, I get chewed up and spit out. Mayhem, that the first 3 minutes, I'll put out a 3-minute candle, and depending on the volume, if that 3-minute candle is a large green one with a bunch of volume, I just put in a long and leave it for 20 minutes. I know, Mike, you trade the opening range volatility.
I do. So I went ahead and put that MES trade on, as I mentioned earlier. I'm kind of expecting that we may continue to push to a new level here. So I'm going to watch that one in the background, but then I'm going to wait a few minutes here for M&Q and see if there's any scalping opportunities. So I built the command pad to make it a lot easier to get it in and out of positions across multiple prop accounts at the same time. You know, you connect everything to one strategy on Traders Post, and then you can construct your orders straight from the command pad here. But then I've also made it to where it has a lot of built-in psychology tools to help with your approach. So I qualify all my trades by answering my own predefined questions for my entry criteria and for my exit criteria, not only so I can go back and look at my journal and like assess my approach to each trade, but also to verify that I'm really planning my trades and I'm not just, you know, throwing on a trade blindly without really qualifying it. And this has helped quite a bit. But of course, you can set up a command pad without any criteria at all, set up your own custom buttons, set up your own entry types or exit types, a way to add to positions, so on and so forth. But for me, I like to take it kind of one trade at a time. I will add to my winners like you, Nick, and if I feel really good about the approach, but I need to see a good setup first. I have two entry models that work really well for me. I call the opening drive here my VWAP push, where I'm looking for a clean close of a candle above or below VWAP on the 2-minute chart. And I'm looking for price to push away from VWAP. And that of course typically shows up in the form of you know, a nice drive or a trend for the day, but it doesn't always trend. So the first trade is usually a scalp trade. I'll try to pick up 25 to 30 points depending on where ATR opens up. Right now it's at 25, so I'd probably go for about 20 points. And if it continues, I might add to that position with a wider take profit and stop loss and try to ride the trend for the rest of the day if possible. But it doesn't always show up that way. This is an interesting open right off the bat.
Well, with it's a no news Monday with Supreme Court nonsense about the tariffs. I think everybody right now is expecting Trump to start talking about how he's going to defy the Supreme Court.
Yep.
So I think movement's going to be a wee bit on the choppy side today. Normally, I would have taken a scalp off that YM movement right off the rip, but today is not that day. Looking at NQ right now, though, it's how you said about pushing away from VWAP. I like to let VWAP actually settle in and get solid before I start making trades on it.
Yep.
And then I see the VWAP line push, you know, with a drastic move up or down, taking a trade off of that.
This looks like that might be happening here.
Yeah. So Trump did do a Truth Social post there. They brought it up on Financial Juice, although it doesn't seem like it had much of an impact. But careful, he is blabbing his mouth right now, so you never know what can happen.
Okay.
I told you. going to start running his gap.
It's funny you said that, and then 2 seconds later, they're like, Truth Social post.
I mean,
good morning, Tim, and good morning, Darren.
Yes, MES filled the gap.
Yeah, there's still a little bit left on the M&Q gap from the open, but not a huge amount, about 34 points left.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like a gap. If this is a gap pivot from the open, then I'm looking for a close below VWAP, and I'll go short M&Q. But I'm going to wait for some of this noise to dissipate. This is kind of choppy here from the open.
Yeah, definitely.
So the other entry model that works really well for me is the VWAP bounce, where we do see that push away from VWAP from the open, but then it mean reverts and comes back and tests VWAP. I wait for confirmation there, and I'm looking to ride the wave for the rest of the session, or for however much is left. You see those quite a bit, you know, like Friday's session gave that. There were several entry opportunities there where we kept coming back to test VWAP. We would bounce for 30 or 40 points and then come back and test it over and over again. So I was actually able to get 2 or 3 scalps out of the day on that one.
It sounds like you and I trade in a very similar manner, using that VWAP, either bounces or breaks.
Yep. There we go.
There's your bounce. But it's only 9:38 in the morning, so
that's true. Gotta wait a few minutes here.
I'm gonna act like an adult today and not get all excited to jump into something that I'm gonna regret.
I gotta be honest, Nick. I love that statement, and ever since you've said it, I've been saying it to myself. Okay, I gotta act like an adult today. So we're not playing around, right? We're not doing kid stuff.
Yeah, I mean, treat this like a business, because that's what it is. You're trying to make money at something. I don't know. I keep seeing all this stuff on the social media posts about people who apparently some guy with Apex got banned because of sim farming and all that. Well, that's all fine and good, but if you're treating it like a business and actually making adult decisions, look at your ROI. If you spend $100,000 on accounts and you ended up taking out 700,000 or $1 million, that's a good ROI.
Right.
All these people, social media posts are just like giving everybody hate about everything. At the end of the day, the only thing that matters is how are you running your business? Are you profitable? And does your bank account show that? That's it. Right.
Yeah, I think the risk to reward ratio has always been attractive to me for prop accounts, especially spending $50. Even if you were just trading one account, spending $50 on an account, activating it for 100. Let's say you spent 150 total, and even just pulling $1,000 out of that account, it's still a great return on such a small amount. It'd be very difficult to make $1,000 on putting 150 into a live futures account and trying one opportunity to meet the margin or the maintenance margin requirements for one M&Q or something like that, and trying to get that to 1,000.
Absolutely. And you were saying before we went live, you were a stock trader prior to trading futures.
Yep. I didn't start trading futures until I worked towards a certification in futures and options analysis in 2022 and 23. So for a long time, it was just stocks and crypto.
So if you look at stock investors, if you make a 25% ROI on stocks for the year, that is an incredible return.
It's phenomenal, and it's likely an outlier. You're unlikely to ever get anywhere close to 25% a year consistently.
Now, if you're looking at your percentages like that, just based on the average investor, 25% is a huge amount for a year. Stock investor, you got NQ dropping here.
I see it here.
And then you compare that to spending the $150 to say $300 if you get a straight to fund account.
Yep.
And you pull out 600, you just made a 50% ROI. And it probably would take you all year to do that. Is it worth it? Yes. Does it matter how you did it? To me, it doesn't. Making money, I'm happy for you.
And that's why I think I try to ignore a lot of what happens on Twitter. I don't get a lot of those comments, but I do see a lot of those comments on Twitter. And I just feel like it's more rage bait, more engagement farming, more of just the like, everybody's got to take a side and an opinion on everything instead of just trading. Like, just focus on your own P&L.
I've received hate mail from people. I actually had someone send me a direct message. I was telling Randy about this yesterday. That first, you seem to be doing well with the prop firms. I was like, yeah, I'm doing okay, better with my personal account. And a couple of messages back and forth, and I thought he was like a question or something. And then he turns around and goes, I don't think you're actually profitable. I think it's all bullshit. I was like, okay.
Cool.
I don't sell a course. I don't, I'm not taking money from anybody. So what? I don't have any following on YouTube or X or anything like that. I'm not monetized in any way, and I don't have any affiliations. Why would I care what you think?
At the end of the day, do we need to satisfy his suspicions?
It was actually kind of humorous because his next message was, bro, I just bought my Rolex from my prop account payouts. I was like, okay, we're not even playing the same game, dude. I just bought a resort.
Right.
And I did not hear a single, like, nothing after that. So.
Well, like I said, I'm here to trade my own P&L and not garner opinions from random people on Twitter. So
yeah. So hey, Mike. So when you first started trading, were you more of like a discretionary trader?
No, it was actually all
sort of system based all the way from the start.
Yeah, it was very system based from the start, and I became discretionary as time went on. But I still do a lot of work to quantify a lot of my approach. I develop my own stats internally around my trading approach, and I do have some automated signals that are generated from the charts here that help me and guide me in the process. You can see here, there's a strategy running in the background on TradingView here that tells me some entries for mean reversion. And sometimes I'll listen to it, sometimes I don't. It just depends on what I know is happening in the markets. And Trump's nonsense right now, I know, is enough for me to just wait for a good scalp here. But the original approach was to leverage my engineering background. I spent a long time as a developer and, built my own software for my own companies. But I started when I was really young. So I took that skill in my data science background to build more quantitative approaches initially. I was a huge fan of Quantopian and actually competed on Quantopian back in 2017 and 2018, building models there, and spent a long time, furthering my understanding of statistics and, quantitative methods. But slowly as time went on, I became more and more interested in the discretionary approach as well.
Nice.
Mike, the quant guy, you're too smart for me.
Yeah, I think that was honestly, if I'm being perfectly candid, that's actually what made me kind of stop. Was as the more I learned from some of the PhDs and stats and some of the quants in that field, I was like, yeah, you guys are out of my league. I'm nowhere near smart enough to do this stuff. So
I couldn't even scratch the surface with that. I hear quant and my eyes glaze over, and I have Homer Simpson's voice going through my head. Doop, 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 doop.
It's I think it's also just a lot of work. You could spend months developing a model and verifying it and testing it with out of sample data just to find that you were able to verify the null hypothesis. And that means, you start every strategy with the opinion that it's likely not going to work. And most of the time you're right. You can't get a model to actually work. The objective, of course, is to reject the null hypothesis, and very infrequently did I find myself rejecting the hypothesis. If I did, the strategy would work for a little while. This is day trading strategies, mind you. Portfolio management is very different. You're exposing yourself to a basket of opportunities, and it's easier to stand up a model there that actually works over time. You can still yield a return, but whether that generates alpha is a different question. And that to me was the domain that became increasingly more difficult as time went on. The only way to really get any type of outsized returns relative to the market or a benchmark was with leverage. And then it just became a question of, well, if I'm going to use leverage, I may as well try to day trade then and really try to think about, how to chase price action rather than spending so much time generating alpha in a way that is just simply too competitive. It's all been arbitraged away, or it doesn't really exist, or it's already priced in. There's maybe a handful of people in the world that can actually get true alpha.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, pretty complicated.
And managing a portfolio, do you find that to be long-term, on a long-term basis, easier or harder than doing day trading on futures?
Definitely much easier. It's a lot more set it and forget it. You build the model for it, and I just let that sucker run for sometimes 18 months, 24 months, and hardly take a look at it.
So it's like that old saying, buy in May and walk away.
That's right.
Nice. A lot of people do that. They would figure out what it was that they wanted in their portfolio, be buying it until May, and then stop and just let it go for 6, 12, 18 months.
So I'm having a hard time deciding on an entry here. It feels like a good place to sell the pullback here. Below VWAP, I see a little resistance at 937, so I'm looking for a little bit more of a bounce before I get in.
You on NQ right now?
I'm on MNQ.
MNQ.
Yeah, interestingly enough is I do use trend lines to kind of build in another layer of confluences, and that pullback on this candle went exactly to the top of a trend line that we had broken out of. I think it was last Friday. So we broke out Friday, and then in the overnight session, obviously on that big sell-off, we went back into that channel, and now we just pulled back to the top of the channel and bounced off of it. So value area low been a pretty key level also for us. So I don't know if you follow volume levels, but I use a value area low, previous day value area low, value area high, and point of control for confluences. And then I'm typically taking my entries off of fair value gaps. So again, I don't really have anything to pull off of right now for long, other than that we pulled back to that, bounced off that channel line, and we're now just retook back into value area low. So
I'm with you. Yeah, I've got a little bit of a regression trend forming below VWAP here, but it looks like this pullback wants to continue. So it looks like I'm going to get stopped out here. I've got to stop at 924.
We also have midnight price on MNQ down at 824.50.
Yep, I saw that, which happens to line up with my stop. So I'm hoping that some resistance steps in here. So I'll let that one play out.
So anyone who is in the chat there, guys, I just shared Traders post their YouTube channel. So definitely head over there and subscribe. We're looking like we're a little dry on the viewers this morning, but anyone who is here, hopefully you'll head over there and hit that subscribe button, guys.
Yeah, quite all right. This stuff, it lives forever. They can find it on YouTube after we stream too, right?
Yeah, for sure. We're going to make some other content from this also. So
great.
And you were also talking about using trend lines. When I actually went to Traders Post and got their simple trend lines off their dashboard and threw those up as well. I took them down because I don't use them hardly ever, but I wanted to play around with a little bit, see what the deal was with it. Did that for a bit. If you actually go to your account, and then you can just scroll down, hit the indicators, and it will actually give you indicators and strategies that are plug and play. You can put them on even down to, and this one's really handy for anyone playing using prop firms. Prop firm rules. That one made me pretty happy when I saw it, because if you're trading with more than 3 or 4 prop firms, you can actually pull up on Traders Post the prop firm rules indicators. Just see if I can find it.
That's pretty awesome.
Indicators. What's it called?
Yeah, that was one that Tom published and put in our indicator dashboard.
Yeah, rules and reminders. He did that one on October 23rd, 2025. Keep trading rules visible on chart to maintain discipline during market volatility. Yeah, nice. That's great for dummies like me who can't keep track of the rules on specific prop firms.
So sorry for my silence, guys. Got a little locked in here trying to find an entry. I'm 0 for 1 at this point. We're still long that MES contract, but I'm now trying to watch what happens here at VWAP to see if I can get a second shot.
Yeah. Trump made a couple comments there, guys. Any nation that wants to play games with Supreme Court decision will be met with much higher tariffs and worse. So he's a fear monger in there. And then after that, he said, I do not have to go back to Congress to get approval for tariffs. So, guys, always throwing curveballs at us here.
Gotta love the Trump volatility. Let's see if I can get this second trade to play out here.
Yeah, we're in a bearish 5-minute fair value gap from that sell-off after the open, and kind of rejected off of the top of it there. Also hit that New York VWAP and pulling back a bit right up to that start of day VWAP. So a little bit of range bound. Not loving the price action, obviously. We'd prefer it to pick a direction than go that way.
We are below VWAP.
That was odd. I'm not sure what. Oh, okay. I see what happened.
And for anybody, thinking about taking a trade, and if you're unsure of it, don't have a clear direction in mind, you don't need to take a trade every day.
That is true.
Capital preservation is a position, as far as I'm concerned.
That's odd.
Throwing shit at see what sticks does not necessarily a good strategy make.
Yeah. No pressure. Don't rush it. Right.
That's right. Just trying to look through my trades here. It looks like for some reason one of my prop firm accounts got liquidated, and I'm trying to figure out what happened there. It didn't hit the target, but I think it must have hit it fast enough. I have my own daily risk rules on, and it must have hit it close enough to where it got triggered too quickly. So I'm gonna have to try that trade again.
And then now we got Trump going to be going live here in a bit. It says 6 minutes, but he'll probably won't be up talking just yet until a little bit after. But we got a feed on Financial Juice showing that he's going to be talking here to angel families.
Got it.
On the Associated Press.
All right. So now is a good time for me to go grab some coffee, because I do not want to be in a trade when Trump starts running his mouth.
Yeah, it might. So do you ever trade the Asia session or later in the day?
Sometimes if there's enough volume in the Asian session or even in the London session, I might take a trade there. There really just has to be a key reason for it. Sometimes it's economic news that will hit in the evenings or early in the morning. So I'll take a trade that way. Nice.
Yeah, I started doing. I do 3 streams a week now on evenings, and it's, to be honest, it's been growing my channel. So that's kind of I started doing Sundays at market open, and then that's kind of initially how I was growing the channel. And then more recently I started doing 2 more streams, and it's kind of like really sped up the growth of the channel, getting more people in, because I don't know what it is. I think it's because there's a lack of other
things to watch,
successful traders. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's finding it's a good place to sort of like carve out a little niche to sort of help build the channel sooner.
I like it.
If you're good at trading the Asia session, that's valuable.
Yeah, it obviously moves a little slower, and it's not as predictable, I think, as the regular trading hours are. Just for the fact that a lot more happens in the middle of the day, but there's a lot more volume, a lot more price action that happens in the regular trading session. And I think the thing that bothers me the most about the Asian session is when things are really thin, price can move against you too quickly.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. One big buyer or seller steps in and can really swing the market.
That's what it is. All right, I might be 0 for 2 here. Not a great start to a Monday here.
You're currently in the long now? Then?
No, well, I'm still long MES, but I'm in short at the moment on one funded account.
Gotcha.
And I'm only asking for 40 points. Just go down a little more.
So kind of a weird question, but when you first started building your automated system, what was like the biggest mistake that you made during that, if you have one that kind of like sticks out?
So I had more of a background, or I had some of my background in data science then, and I think I had spent, a lot of time building models to predict human behavior, right? Detecting churn, detecting buying patterns, ways to influence behavior, marketing tactics, things like that, right? And I took some of that understanding of how models can be built to predict outcomes to my trading. And I think initially crypto offered some inefficiencies that made some of my models appear very predictive, but then very quickly that same noise and randomness in markets started to show up. So I think the mistake that was made was assuming that markets were more predictable than they really are. That error in thinking, I think, is an easy thing to get fooled by. I think Nassim Taleb wrote a fantastic book on the subject that's literally called Fooled by Randomness. And nothing could be more true. When it comes to markets, they're complex adaptive systems, and your ability to predict their outcomes is incredibly rare. It's very difficult to do, if at all. So at least for me, not being the smartest guy in the room, I just couldn't find myself finding systems and approaches that worked because I went into it with the wrong thinking in the first place.
Okay, nice. Well, you're definitely the smartest guy in the room today, so
trying. Let's see. Again, it looks like POC just re-registered here at 908. I'm hoping for a little more profit here. I'm already about 5 points into this trade here from 913. I'm looking to get out at 874. So I'm just looking for one little flush down, and I can pick up $700 for the day.
Nice. Good morning, Johan, and good morning, Czar.
Hey guys, what's going on?
So we got some news here in 10 seconds. What is it? U.S. factory orders month over month and durable goods. Yeah.
Those are pretty low importance, aren't they?
I'm more worried about Trump talking than I am.
Yeah. That would be the State of the Union one is tomorrow.
I might not take this week.
This candle is killing me.
Yeah, it keeps getting a big reaction there off the value area low, 24,891.
This is one of those moments where my patience is really tested, and I have to decide if I want to sit on my hands or not. Because there's nothing worse than just like dancing around in profit only for the candle to turn against you.
Ugh. Yeah,
that's
which
painful.
happens pretty often.
Happens to me almost at least 17, 20 times a week.
Come on.
Looking at a 3-minute chart on MNQ, it's going above VWAP, going below VWAP, going above VWAP, going below.
Yeah, this is a rough open.
Yeah, it's not being very nice.
So I'm gonna wait for this Trump speaking. I'm gonna go make myself another coffee.
Got it.
Keep Mike company for a second and answer any ridiculous questions we get.
Sounds good. Thanks, Nick.
I hope we get ridiculous questions anyway.
Man, I did not anticipate this kind of open here.
Yeah, it's not being very friendly. That's the moment.
Did you take a trade yourself?
Just that YM there, right out of the gate. Other than that, I've been haven't really, like I said, I typically trade off of fair value gap. So I'm either looking for a continuation style fair value gap where I just like enter in a pullback, or an inversion here. We do have the potential of a couple inversions on ES or NQ. If we get like, I would need a 5-minute candle closure above 24,965. And then maybe I can try to take a long on a retest in that fair value gap, targeting point of control up above. Or, you know, if we end up breaking down here, and then I can look for, you know, a new bearish fair value gap to enter on a continuation kind of idea. So I've been finding that if I stay focused on keeping my trades with the fair value gaps, it kind of like limits my over trading, because that's kind of been a problem for me in the past.
Understood.
So, it's as long as I like wait for that, and then kind of the idea is if I take an entry on a continuation on a fair value gap, and then I do get a closure outside of that fair value gap that's gonna like invert it, then I'm just looking to exit the trade there. So that's kind of a small rule that I set for myself. So if I enter in a bearish fair value gap and it gets inverted, then I'll be looking to get out. And quite often, one thing I like about that is once it gets inverted, it's going to go back and retest that fair value gap again. So it does give you a chance to get out. But yeah, it's kind of what I'm looking for right now.
And is that mainly what do you usually trade? What instrument?
Okay, so you know, during market open, I tend to have a little bit less luck with NQ, just because I find that maybe my stops are a little too tight, like to be comfortable. So typically I'll trade ES, but I am watching NQ or YM. Yeah. And then usually in the evening sessions, I'll be trading either gold or NQ, because they're moving so slow that it's go with a little bit of a faster contract at the evening session, right? So, yeah.
Okay. Finally triggered profits on that one.
Nice. Good job. Yeah. Nice patience there.
Yeah, that was not an easy one to sit on my hands for.
Oh, nice work, Mike. So are you guys billionaires yet? What happened?
Actually, it looks like I'm taking a bit of a haircut on that MES long.
Okay, yeah.
But the NQ short, I offset that a bit.
Nice.
Shoot, man, what an open. So what did we just learn? What's Trump's announcement here? Because that was a wick down.
U.S. imports blow to Trump tariff triggers policy scramble and global market relief. There's news on grains, live cattle. Those are not an issue.
Copy that.
Trump isn't speaking yet. They have the feed live, but he's not at the podium yet.
It looks like MES is doing worse than NQ. So what's propping up NQ right now? It must be
YM is just dumping. So that's kind of what's helping ES go lower at the moment.
It looks like it's NVIDIA. NVIDIA is the only thing propping up the NQ right now.
Well, NQ has got a lot of orders underneath it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am actually short NQ.
Yeah, definitely NVIDIA's, gapped up and kind of still holding above its opening price anyways. That's for sure.
Huh. All right.
Overall, Mag 7 is definitely down. Looking a lot more like and like looking like NQ at the moment.
Yeah, I've got my list here, and of the I'm calling it the Mag 10 here, but across the board, it's really just Microsoft and Amazon that are pulling back. The others are up for the morning. Tesla's down a little bit. Netflix is down. Looks like the VIX came back up. It had fallen down to about 19 and came back up again.
I took a loss on that NQ short.
Johan got a good trade on NQ, says.
Saw that.
Nice job.
Was that lost because you had the stop pretty tight there, or what was the?
My stop was pretty tight on that. I only went in 1 micro.
Yep.
I was looking for a continuation past that number 1 VWAP band below opening range.
And again, we bounced off that trend line, that Tory tan line. I typically don't like to trade just off a trend line, but if it's like lined up with a VWAP or has fair value gaps or things like that, then I'll definitely give it a lot more weight.
Got it.
But yeah, just another confluence you can throw in there relatively easily. They're so discretionary though. You know, everyone can draw it slightly different. That it's like not really a guarantee as to when you're going to get a good reaction off it, right?
Now, do trend lines typically work better for longer time frame trades?
Personally, I've never really traded trend lines all that much. I tend to focus on some of the longer term moving averages, but then regression trends have always been my favorite tool for determining trend. And the regression trend is basically just a linear curve fit. It's just a linear regression analysis on a starting point and an ending point and the close price in between. Actually, I think on this one I use HLC3, but I'm looking at 3 standard deviations of price, capturing as much of the data as possible, and then I'll follow the trend from there. So I would say, Dave, you probably have more experience than I do on trend lines.
Yeah, I mean, you can take scalps off them, but yeah, typically when they do, depending on how long your time frame is too of the trend line, like if it's a really long-term trend line, then they can be used for like a swing trade. But like I said, it would be more of a scalping ideas for me for the most part. So
Took my second stab at a short on NQ, and now I am out.
Order filled.
Done and done.
Heard that one. Order filled.
Well, it was a mix of outcomes today. 1 account down, 1 account up. Mainly because that first one had hit the daily loss limit before I could take that second M&Q short to pick up the profit for the day. That's okay. I will gladly win some and lose some.
I mean, that's how it's no matter what, right?
That's how it goes. I see some support here showing up at 850, and it looks like it's going to try to pull back and test VWAP again here, or
right
at least
at that trend line.
Right at that trend line.
Yeah.
Man, MES definitely pulled back more than I expected today.
It's going to be
YM's not cooperating. After that initial bounce there, we popped up by, how many points was that? Popped up like 272 points, and now we've pulled back 650 points. So
small amount of movement.
Yeah, a little bit.
Wow, this is took one loss and 1 win.
I hear you. This is a tough one.
Yeah. Again, this is going to be testing my patience all damn day.
Gold's having a nice morning.
What's gold doing? Being heavy?
No, bullish. I mean, it's building out a flag right now.
Not touching gold accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah, gold's been an interesting one.
Gold, silver. It was funny. I took a couple of really good trades on silver, a couple of good trades on gold, and then after, I don't know, I think I took maybe 4 on each. After that, I decided not to push my luck. Moved over to copper on my cash accounts, and the price action on copper was so much better. It was much easier to read. It was a lot more predictable.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I don't think I've done any analysis to compare the copper market to the other precious metals, but you're finding it just trended differently?
Yeah, it was a lot more stable. There weren't as big movements. It was like the technicals for it were all a lot easier to read.
Yeah.
So it looks like we got a little resistance on NQ at 880. So the bottom of the opening range.
I see that too. POCs is at 912. I'm kind of expecting a little bit of a pullback here, but as we get to these new ranges, these 20, 30 point ranges, it just looks like it chops around that zone for a bit. So this is not my favorite kind of price action.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's looking like that 912 level is midnight VWAP.
Yep.
Another thing that Tom did was created a midnight VWAP indicator.
And is that anchored from midnight, or are we just saying the whole electronic session?
Mine is anchored to midnight.
Got it. Midnight Central Time then?
Yes.
Got it. And has that been useful for you?
Well, it's great.
Yeah. Yeah, usually I have what I'm calling the EVWAP or electronic VWAP, which starts, of course, at 6 p.m. Central. And I have that up here at 9:17. You're going to see a slightly different number if you're calculating from midnight Central.
Yeah, I run the same start of day VWAP is what I usually call it.
Yeah, session VWAP would be right from the open, and then overnight or electronic VWAP would be from the previous day's electronic open.
Yeah, nice.
Still showing resistance at 880.
Yeah, I see that too. I want to take another short. I see 100 contracts sitting on the books right now.
I see 250 down at 800.
Okay.
On MES, or I'm sorry, MNQ. Another 116, slightly above that. I am now short.
Order filled.
Order filled. My favorite
you can
in the world.
It's very clear today.
What the heck? I love the delay on the order filled from Trade-Evade. It's going to go like 4 times within the next 2 minutes.
I went ahead and set a sell stop at 866. We'll see if I can scalp out a little bit more here, but I'm trying to take it easy. This choppiness and volatility has me wanting to size way down. So I went back to the default quantities on each of my accounts, and some are trading 2, some are trading one micro at a time now.
Oh, I've got 1 micro in. I'm down.
Across all the accounts? Yeah.
Yeah. I have not. Cool. There's that delay again.
There we go.
Not fooling around with putting any size on anything right now.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That's interesting. Oh, that's right. I hit my daily
Book is looking like the orders are below. So do you run book map at all, Mike?
Yeah, I have Bookmap open here on the side. I'm watching levels here on NQ, and I mainly will watch NQ but trade M&Q, looking for that institutional flow and a lot more of the
Gotcha.
larger players. I think the liquidity and flow is obviously going to be a lot different on NQ than it is on M&Q.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I lost $25 on that trade. I had to open up my stop loss here.
Gotcha. Yeah, I went for 20 points of take and 40 points of stop here. So I've got stop at 906. I should be able to capture this as long as we can just wick down a little bit further to 846. But to my point earlier, whenever we hit these new ranges here, at this point, it's just going to chop around.
Yeah, it's always I always find this too, especially like when we know that Trump is going to be talking, the market's like so indecisive.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he gets off, then things start to calm down.
Exactly. I got to be honest though, I'm kind of at that point where I'm like, can we just get back to focusing on earnings and forward guidance than tariffs controlling the entire market?
Yeah.
I'm right there with you, brother.
So do you have any actual like automated systems that take trades for you?
I'm working on setting one back up right now, and that's just the opening drive on MES across the accounts, but it's sort of a mixed bag. Not all prop firms allow automation, so I'm using the firms that do. Blue Sky does, Lucid does, Tradeify does. The problem with Tradeify is their language says that your algorithm has to be exclusive to Tradeify accounts. So I'm trying to decide which firms I want to run my strategy on. If I want to run it on the Lucid and Blue Sky accounts or exclusively on the Tradeify accounts.
And then how much data would you like? Did you put like do a whole bunch of like couple years of back testing on that strategy?
Yeah,
or, like,
the one that I run from the open, it's just a VWAP open strategy. I'm actually able to test on about a decade worth of M&Q data. And that one has about a 70% win rate and a 1.5 profit factor. And it gets mixed results, though. It has some seasonality to it. Sometimes it'll go on a streak and sometimes it doesn't. But I just want to trade one micro with that one. So I'll set that up soon. And I kind of go back and forth, right? Like most days I'm discretionary. I'm taking the open. I trade the first 90 minutes of the session and I call it a day. And then I'll get back to work running Traders Post, building great tools for our traders, building better ways for people to get in and out of their positions and automate or copy trade. And then if I've got some extra time, I go back and work on some of the automated stuff. But I have found my recent edge really does seem to be coming from a discretionary approach. So that's really where I've been putting my focus.
Nice. Yeah, that personal experience definitely adds a level of, a bonus sort of once you build that quality, right?
Exactly. Bummer. All right. Honestly, I think I'm going to call it there. My trading has not been great this morning and got some ups and downs, but this choppiness is hurting me.
Trading chop is not really my forte either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What you got going on for the rest of the day?
Well, I got a few more things I'm going to work on with Command Pad, and I'll send you the latest there, Nick. I've got some tools I'm trying to integrate around psychology and some rules that some reminders, loop timers, some ways to kind of check in with you, setting a maximum number of signals per day. Like today, I've sent 5 signals from Command Pad. I'm well under the limit that I would want to set. But the objective here is to make this not only an effective tool for constructing and expressing exactly the trade that you had planned and copying that trade across multiple prop accounts, but also for it to operate as sort of a sidekick, a risk manager, a somebody who's kind of checking in with you. So one of the things I'm working on right now is a loop timer that just checks in every 15 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever you define, to ask, like, are you trading according to your plan? Do you feel like you might be trading on tilt? Whatever you want to construct the questions as, but the idea is to check in with yourself and make sure that you haven't left that zone of focus, and making sure that you're carefully planning each trade and each approach. I know for me, that's been my biggest, downside in my trading is I can very easily go on tilt. And when I do, it's bad. When it's bad, it's bad. And I'll lose accounts. I'll take really big hits. And I think a big part of that is that I'm a very decisive person. I get really aggressive. So if I see something on the charts, I'll take it right away. I don't even have to think twice about it. But then, that can lead to ruin, because now every candle looks like a candle I think I can predict, and I start tricking myself. So the objective I have with Command Pad is for it to couple it as a great execution professional keypad, but also to operate as a reminder tool to keep you on track.
I think that's actually
pretty awesome.
An automated, basically that's like a shoulder tap at a real prop firm. So
yeah. I think if you worked at in a firm on a desk, you'd have a risk manager calling you if you got off the tracks pretty quickly.
Yep. And having an automated risk manager, I think that's going to be beneficial for anybody using it. I mean, especially people like me and Dave, who do the same thing. We get aggressive with something, think that we're a little bit smarter than we actually are.
Right.
Like, oh yeah, I can predict this. No.
I just took a short scalp there, locked in 172 on one of my Top Step trading combines there. On that, I took the rejection off the VWAP there, and just basically back to the candle high, the previous candle high on the 5-minute.
Nice.
So five micros short. 172.50.
Good trade.
Little base hit.
Nice little scalp.
That's a little scalp.
Yeah.
Scalpy scalps are good. Hello, Dave's dad. What, I'm your dad now too?
I was gonna say, is this a joke that goes around all over the place, or what?
No, it's because my dad's actually in the chat, and he said,
"Oh, okay, gotcha.
Good morning, guys." So Johan's like, "Hello, Dave's dad."
Well, am I everybody's father this month?
Apparently, you have a lot of illegitimate children, Nick. You gotta look out here.
I didn't get around the block. I built the block.
Yeah, it looks pretty sunny though over there, Mike. But you said it's pretty cold.
Yeah, it was cold this morning, and my place was pretty cold, so had to get the heater running.
Nice, yeah. So, quick question about automation. So, where do you see automation sort of going in the next, maybe 5 years or so? Is it something you think could eventually sort of take over with like the whole AI situation and or people like you who are building these awesome platforms that you can build automation, take that whole personal decision-making process out of it for the most part?
Yeah, I do think that there's a kind of a new workflow of trading that's starting to crop up, and that is what we're calling the AI agentic workflow. Some people are using it to pipe in their own data and then build a decision-making model around that. So the automation part of it is really the execution side, which of course Traders Post helps with, but the informational edge is coming from an agentic workflow that's analyzing charts or analyzing data and then supplying traders with sort of a semi-discretionary or semi-automated view of the markets. And we see that being sort of the most unique approach we've seen in a while, because people are coupling all kinds of things together. The one that I had always found fascinating is feeding an AI model or an LLM, images of the chart or images of something that you've constructed, your own data set, coupling that with data that, is more discrete, and seeing what kind of comes out the other side. And I think that real-time analysis that is assisting traders with their own view on the markets is fascinating, because I think it's giving people insights that they wouldn't have seen themselves.
For sure, yeah. And actually, Johan in the chat there, she built a bot, and also she's been testing out some of those AI aspects too, where you send like the picture sort of the couple different time frames. Helps you build that directional idea, and it'll actually even give you a trade and sort of rate the trade too. And just saying here, Trump just finally got to the podium here, guys, so he's live.
Okay.
All right. So start looking for shorts or.
Yeah, I'm expecting some panic here. I'm currently short, and this will be the last little trade I put on here.
Yeah, I'm giving myself one more, and then I'm done for the day. I took 2 losses and a win. I am down $6.25 per account right now, so I don't want to pay more than that.
That's not a bad thing, though.
Today was definitely a keep your losses small day.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Yeah, I love how the control pad, it really reminds me of like a Game Boy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's got that like, it's obviously it looks more advanced than the typical Game Boy, but it just like looks like it looks like fun to use for sure.
It is very fun to use. There's a lot of sort of hidden built-in features, like just being able to pause the button so I don't accidentally click something. That's a nice little feature. Building a lockout, so if I want to keep myself locked out from the account for a period of time, I can do that here as well. But I can build any button I want. So if I want to build another exit button here to get out of a trade, I could say this would be exit, let's say 1/3 of my position, and I can put the exit here. I put in the rules. This can be set up from Traders Post. We'll give you the message to actually type in here, but now I have this other button that I can now add in. So any number of buttons that you want to configure, any pre-designed trades or configurations you want to set up can all be done here. So it doesn't come like out of the box with a specific set of buttons. You can really design it any way you like.
Oh, nice.
So it's not like the Apple iPhone.
Yeah, exactly. I think my original thought behind it was, I liked the old Bloomberg keypads that were meant for the commodities traders, the ones from the 1990s, and some of the professional keypads I've seen over the years. So my inspiration was for it to be retro, but for it to really be very customizable, because any pro trader or somebody who's spent a lot of time getting in and out of position knows, I want these buttons pre-configured so that I can just click it right away. For example, like this keypad here for a different account, I have a pre-designed strategy here where I just go long one with a 10 point take and a 20 point trailing stop, where I go short in the opposite direction. So all this is pre-configured with the message already defined, and that's what gets sent to Traders Post to execute.
Brilliant. I don't know how you do it.
So,
a lot of time
question
coding
about that command pad too is, I know with the other, like when I first started using Traders Post, you have to like set up the JSON and the webhooks. Are those kind of like automatic now, or do you still have to do that sort of on the back end?
My recommendation is to build the JSON template. So you go to Traders Post, you put in any ticker, let's just say MES, for example, and you build your order from the order form here. So let's say I want to build a sell button. I can now define the order type, the quantity type, or I can just leave those alone. And then I could set up a take profit and a stop loss here, for example. And I could do this as, points or whatever I prefer. And then you're going to save the signal template, choose trading view, and then I'll just copy this message and use that wherever I like, whether that's pasting it into command pad, or whatever. Once those templates are created, command pad also kind of sucks them in, so it knows what page you're on, and when you go to the signal templates, it'll suggest adding them to your account. So if I go to like my VWAP bounce, so let's see, go to VWAP push here, and if I open up the VWAP push strategy, you can see here it says available from Traders Post. I can now add those two JSON templates to the system. So I suggest building your templates into your strategy, and then it'll copy over to the command pad automatically.
Oh, nice.
All right, this short's looking much better now.
Yeah,
I might pull out of the hole a little bit here today.
those lows are looking juicy.
This is the point in which I would set a break-even trade. So what I can do is just paste in my the price that I want to set the break-even at, and if I leave the quantity empty, it'll look up the position for each account and determine the quantity to actually set the break-even at. But I can go ahead and just send an exit flat with that stop price. And when I do that, it'll cancel the open take profit and stop loss, and then set a buy stop order here right at break even.
Oh, nice.
And it does that on all the accounts that I have connected. In this case, I have 4 connected.
There is an AI agent on Traders Post, I think.
We have some tools we've built to help people build AI agents. You'll find we have a lot of content we do on a show we've made called Blueprint, where Tom showcases how a lot of that kind of stuff can be done, but we don't have any kind of built-in AI agent at the moment. One of the things I'm envisioning with my team is building AI analysis to your performance. So we have analytics coming soon, where every single trade will have its own analytics dashboard, or every single account. You can look at things at a strategy level. You can look at it at a trade level, or an account level, and essentially we'll have all of your analytics built in. But then we want to build AI on top of that to help analyze your trade performance and find opportunities to improve.
Nice.
Man, this choppiness is just...
Yeah, we hit that freaking trend line one more time there.
Yeah.
Seems to be a reoccurring situation here.
Yeah, I'll take that small little profit that I was able to capture from that that break-even order, but I was really hoping I had a little more travel on that one.
Yeah. It looked like it wanted to take the lows there, for sure.
So we're right back to POC at 896, and I see a lot of resistance on Bookmap at 905. It's going to be one of those days where I should have just stayed in the trade, you know?
Looking at MNQ on Bookmap, there are a bunch of orders down at 24,800 still. Orders keep coming on and off below, but it's pretty dark up above us.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's like a night sky with no stars.
Well, I try to remind myself, if I'm not seeing anything that's super clear on the charts, then what the hell am I doing here? So I don't know about you guys, but I think that's it for me.
Yeah, it's 10:30. We got about a half an hour before volume just drops off. So I'm going to take my $6.25 loss on my account.
I think that was smart of you to just trade the micros this morning.
Yeah, I wasn't. For this morning, I was not planning on putting any size on.
Yeah, Nick's actually really good about knowing when to size up. I noticed that because sometimes he's all of a sudden he's like, yeah, I'm in, 5 minis. It's like, oh, geez. Wow. How did you decide to go from, some micros earlier into like, typically you're in your cash account or your personal account when you go.
Yeah, I'm not throwing 5 minis on.
Like, how do you make that decision to go from like, for such a small size to be like, boom, and then, 10 grand later, you're like, yeah, that was a good trade.
Honestly, it's volume, trend, and VWAP. That's that. I'm a simple man. I'm not smart enough to do in-depth technical analysis, but I'm good at pattern recognition. So when it's in a trend, I wait for a pullback to VWAP. I wait for a confirmation that it's going to bounce off it and continue going higher. And if there's a lot of volume, then I go in with heavier size. If there's not a lot of volume, I go in with less size.
Agreed there.
You were right on that. Hey, Mike, about that resistance there.
Yeah, I see the resistance, and I just got stopped out too early on that guy. But I'm looking at Bookmap now. I see a lot more support here at 812, which of course is conforming to some of this support we found here on the charts. And it just supports the idea that we're going to continue to be a bit choppy here in the open.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. There's a lot down at 812.
Yeah, I see 812. 810 has 111 contracts, and everywhere between there has another 24 or so.
Mm-hmm. Del Ohabi in the chat. Good morning, everybody. Just so you guys know, I recently got to above 500 subscribers, so I activated super chats.
Oh, cool.
And Del gave me a $10 super chat yesterday, which I was just like, felt so blessed by that. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Appreciate that. So good to see you this morning. Thanks for tuning in.
Oof, what a mess. Just looking at the 2-hour chart here on electronic hours, how do you read this? Technical analysis or not, that is a mess of chop right there.
Oh, yeah.
And we've been in this sideways trend now on the daily chart for 153 days now. It's time to find a real trend again.
Good luck with that.
I just hope it's up and not down.
Yeah, me too. Open one hand and shit in the other, see which one fills up first.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess mid-September we kind of broke out of that other little consolidation area. And then, yeah, you're right. Since mid-September, it's been not really going anywhere except sideways. So
yep,
building up for a big move here. Now, what direction are they going to go? We're going to have to wait and find out. But
yeah, that's the struggle. If we're just looking at overall drawdown, of course, the market's down a bit, almost 7% now on NQ. But it's just been, we've been range finding. It's like, this is technically a higher low, but then this one's a higher high. It looks like it's maybe up, but we could easily post a lower low here, which makes everyone confused.
I'm just looking at a 4-hour chart, and it looks like on NQ, it's just speed bumps.
Yeah. This is not easy price action to trade. It's just kind of wicking all over the place.
Since about February 12th, it's just been range bound. It looks like ridiculous. Slow grind down since January 27th, but it's slow. All right, I'm gonna throw a 10 mini contract on gold here long.
Yeah, just to mess around.
Yeah, just pocket change, right?
why not?
Yeah, I think I'm done for the day. This is not a pool that I want to be swimming in.
Yeah, there's nothing here. It's just ticking around. The volumes have started to dissipate as well. Overall trading volume on the day is looking a little weak, especially compared to Friday's session.
Well,
Yeah, definitely.
folks, I think we should wrap it up. Mike, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I usually trade Mondays on my own, so it's nice to be a guest with another team.
Nice.
Yeah, it's thanks for all the information on the Traders Post and the command pad and your trading style and your unique outlook on the markets. That's always a bonus for us because, well, for me anyway, because I'm a little simple.
Fair enough. Yeah. And yeah, for anybody interested, feel free to sign up for Traders Post. You can get a free account with us and test it out for copy trading. But we have a wait list for command pad at the moment. So if you're interested in joining and testing out the tool for copy trading from this Chrome extension, feel free to reach out to us at support@traderspost.io.
Do you have a wait list on that?
Yeah, we're just kind of taking incoming requests via email, and I have a list of people that I'm going to email directly once I'm ready for the beta test. I want to bake in a few more features here. I've got some feedback from you as well as a couple other people to make this a little bit easier to use. And then I've got several videos I need to make that show how to set it all up, how it works, what the thinking behind it is, why it has so many different kind of buttons and features built into it, and how to make it your own. Darren says, caught a small short just waiting for a better short. I like it.
Small short waiting for a better short? I don't know if you're going to see that today, but good luck to you, brother. It's this is not sexy at all.
And what are the updates here from Trump's announcements?
He's had mostly other people talking, so I didn't really see anything. No, Financial Juice didn't put anything up anyways.
Got it.
What he said, so.
Yeah, I got nothing showing up on there to go, please. So NQ just got below opening range.
Yep, I see that here.
All right, what the hell am I doing? I'm not trading anymore.
What are you doing? I'm watching. I'm just watching candles now.
Just watching. I'm looking at it, getting ready to take a trade. Look at that.
Well, we finally got a 5-minute closure below that trend line, so I can see us definitely. This could definitely go lower.
Yeah.
We do have just session lows down at 806, so 800 area.
Yeah, still a lot of resting orders at 820 as well as 810, but sellers could easily blow through that.
Yeah, don't start tempting me, guys.
Yeah, and previous day low down there at 24,675. So, but yeah, hey, it was a pleasure meeting you, Mike. Thanks.
Yeah, likewise, Dave. Appreciate it.
Yeah, like I said, I've watched some of your interviews and gone through your channel and stuff. So it's definitely some good informative information. So appreciate you having you on and giving us a preview of the your trading platform there with that's pretty awesome. So and we've seen Nick obviously has been using it also, and he's been saying nothing but great things about it. So
yeah, especially for what you're doing, Nick, with 50 plus accounts, it's the kind of tool that helps facilitate scaling that many accounts and making sure that each trade gets constructed properly on those accounts. And you trade different sizes in each one too, right?
Honestly, this command pad, since you sent it over to me, has been a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
I do like one of the features that you have on there where I can just click a button and go directly to Trader's Post dashboard.
Right. Just click the icon here, or even just go, you can make your own function button to go straight to, your strategy dashboard or whatever. Yep.
Yeah. And the reason why I like that so much is because if you're trading any accounts where you can have 10 or more accounts,
mm-hmm.
you have a limit through trader day of how many executions can occur within a 60-minute period.
That's right.
If you know whether or not your order got picked up or if it got rejected by TradeAway, which unfortunately has happened to me because I was trading too many damn accounts at one time. But seeing that, I was able to just turn off some of them through Trader's Post.
Sure.
You just disable them for X amount of time,
mm-hmm.
trade half of them or a quarter of them, whatever, and do everything in baskets. So that did make me happy. Wayne says an intruder killed at Mar-a-Lago. Yeah, that was yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
Got that weekend news.
Wayne always he gives us lots of pops in and gives us nice key information, and usually typically big buyers at this level and this and that. So it's really nice. It's pretty sweet when you have people in the chat that are sending out this information. It just helps you stay on top of everything, because as you know, there's always so many layers to trading to keep track of. So it's good to have a community to help with that. So thanks, Wayne. Appreciate you.
It's true.
All right.
Well, cool, guys.
Stop trading. Go.
Yep. Nothing else here.
All right. Thanks again, Mike.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
Cheers.
All right. Well, Dave, I am officially done with this session. because holy shit.
Yeah, it was pretty easy for me today. I was just constantly sitting there listening to Mike talk, actually. So made life easier. That's for sure.
Mike's he's a good trader. He's a smart dude. When people like Mike talk, I like to learn things from them. Yes, you're
Totally.
6 of us, no more coffee. You're absolutely right. So I hope everybody enjoyed Mike today. Get to watch me losing some money.
Yeah, it was, I had I took 2 trades made. One I thought,
Sorry, you're breaking up.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I took 2 trades today. One YM long made 54, and then that NQ short 172.50. So
you were doing way better than I am today, by far. I am red.
Yeah, I think I just being patient because Mike was talking so much. I was like just focused on that.
You know what? It helps. It really does. If you're doing this, not you, but if any of us are doing this all by ourselves and we don't have anybody to throw ideas off of, it gets real lonely and you just want to start pushing buttons. And I don't want to be a button pusher.
Thank you, Wayne. Yeah, I was pretty patient there. I waited for that rejection off of the new VWAP for a short, which is, that's typically one of your trades, actually, more common than it is with me. I mostly trade those fair value gaps, but I definitely jumped on that one.
Oh, so what you're saying is you're learning something.
Yeah, definitely, always learning.
Busting your job, so. Well, thanks everybody for coming on.
Yeah, we didn't have many more viewers, but
yeah, it's a Monday.
Yeah, got to try to get some. We should try to almost do some of these in the evening stream. I know you're not usually. We don't necessarily have to take any trades, but it'd be good to have some people on maybe and just have like little chats when we have more people in the stream.
So just so everybody knows, tomorrow we have Abby Manzoni coming on. Next week, I think we have Tom Hartman coming on.
Nice.
So it's going to be an interesting. Randy's going to be coming on soon, which is funny. Randy is the one who started this stream, and he hasn't been on it forever
since he left. Since he got a full time with the
And the funny part about it is this stream got started with Randy, Christine, and Tom, right? Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas.
Thomas disappeared. Randy went to Mexico and got busy. Randy started doing the ASFX stream, and Randy was the one who told me I should come on here with you and Randy and Christine.
Yeah.
And now it's just you and me. Still support. So to anybody who misses Randy, he'll be back on soon.
And thanks to Randy for hooking us up because, nice to have a good trading friend. Hopefully, we definitely have some good ideas to help each other out. So it's,
right. Randy's definitely good for that. He introduced me to some good people. He actually introduced me to Mike Christensen.
Oh, nice.
He and Rebecca were on Price Action Live, and then they ended up telling Mike about me because I was copy trading so many accounts. And yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
Darren does things. Hell yeah. Get a hold of us. Actually, yeah, get a hold of us anytime you want to.
Yeah, for sure.
As long as nobody else is coming on a specific day, more than welcome, as far as I'm concerned. Dave's going to be a dick about it, but that's just Dave.
Hello,
No,
Abby.
really.
I'm in the final stages of building my automated trading system. I'm at plus 3,566, 1.4% today, trading a 250K paper account. Hey, that sounds pretty amazing.
1.4% in a day? That's
Hey, yeah.
great.
Wow. Yeah, you have to keep us updated on that.
Now, I love the 1.4% per day. The math always properly gives that point of diminishing returns after a certain point. Do that for 2 years straight, you got to throw on like 100 minis to continue with that percentage.
Yeah, once you get it, your balance higher, right?
Yeah, it gets a lot harder. It's easier to make 100% on a $1,000 account or 50% on a $1,000 account than it is on a $1,000 account. And it just gets harder as it's going. But that being said, if you're pulling in a 1.4% on a 250K account in a day, you could do that just
Get a pullback here on the NQ.
50% of the time. You're going to be a very happy person at the end of the year.
Yeah.
All right, Dave. I'm going to go start drinking bourbon, cry over my losses. And,
All $6.
$6 and let's see what was it. Oh, I'm sorry, $6.62 after commissions.
Okay.
So I feel like a failure. I'll go rub my bald patch back here and drink some bourbon. But I will see you bright and early tomorrow. Like I said, we got Abby coming on tomorrow, so that'll be fun.
Nice.
Abby's a good egg. Anybody has any questions about trading Abby's style? She does a lot of the same style as Zach Arbucci. And if anybody has questions about skydiving and adventure sports, that's the girl to ask.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. She's kind of a badass. She jumps out of hot air balloons and airplanes and helicopters and shit for fun. So, yeah. So tune in tomorrow. It'll be good stuff. Darren said I'm going to head out. I'll message people in Discord. Do it, and we'll get you on here very shortly.
Yeah. The more the merrier. That's the way I feel like it. I said the more the merrier. That's how I feel.
Yeah, I mean, why not? I always learn something. So, all right, Dave. I'm going to disappear in 3, 2.
Have a good one. Okay, guys. Well, I think we're just going to wrap it up here too. Also, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. It was good to see you guys. I feel your pain, man. $6. That's quite a loss. Yeah. Right? Totally, Del. Yeah, so we're probably going to just wrap it up here, guys. Thanks a lot for coming in. Hopefully you got a little bit of value. And if you're looking to copy trade or automate, definitely check out Traders post there. I linked their YouTube channel in a couple times there. So if you guys want to, head over there and hit that subscribe button, they would appreciate that very much. Also, give you a little bit of good content on how to set up their systems and stuff. If you're interested in that, they have great platform for automation and copy trading. Personally, I just use it right now for copy trading. I just don't feel that confident in building a bot, for example, like the way Dell is. But that sounds like a crazy system you got going there. Seems like it's working good. But yeah, thanks so much everybody for tuning in. We'll be back live tomorrow morning and then again tomorrow evening for the nighttime session. And yeah, like Nick was saying, we got Abby Manzoni coming on tomorrow, and sounds like she's a bit of a wild one. So it makes sense that she would be, you know, a trader, because you know, you gotta kind of be a little tough to be in that area. So you gotta, you know, be okay with risk, right? So thanks a lot, everybody. Good to see you, Del, Darren, Wayne, Johan, Czar, Tim. Thanks a lot, guys, for showing up. Love you guys. And yeah, we'll be back live again tomorrow morning. So thanks a lot for tuning in. And hopefully we'll have a bit of a cleaner day tomorrow. And, you know, have an easier path to making some money. I mean, I did okay today. I was trying to be patient. Didn't want to, you know, take some crappy trades while we have a guest on the stream. So, but thanks again, everybody. You guys have a great day, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace out.